You've heard about your IQ and EQ, but what about CQ, Cultural Intelligence Quotient? Some have described it as the single greatest difference between leaders who thrive in today's world and those who become obsolete. Your cultural intelligence is the degree to which you can function effectively across a variety of cultural contexts. This is more than just a kitschy catchphrase for cultural sensitivity. It's rooted in research across 25 countries, and it's proven to enhance the effectiveness of leaders and their organizations as they seek to meet the demands of our increasingly globalized world. I've spent the last several years working in and out of a lot of different cultural contexts. And for the longest time, I was really frustrated because I knew I shouldn't wing it, but there simply wasn't time to master all the ins and outs of every culture I encountered. And frankly, I watched some colleagues look rather foolish when they tried too hard to follow all the do's and don'ts they learned in some of the books they read. Yet we know that culture profoundly shapes the way we do our work. With cultural intelligence, you can gain an overall skill set that can be applied to any cross-cultural scenario. Once again, cultural intelligence is defined as an individual's capability to function effectively across national, ethnic, and even organizational cultures. It includes 4 interdependent factors or capabilities that can also be thought of as 4 steps toward enhancing your overall cultural intelligence. The first factor is CQ drive. This is your level of interest, motivation, and confidence to persevere through the hard work of cross-cultural leadership. Sometimes companies jump right into requiring diversity training or sending someone on an overseas assignment without considering the impact of that employee's motivation to do so. We've found the motivational factor to be a critical difference between the success and failure of these initiatives. The second factor is CQ knowledge. This is the primary focus of many other cross-cultural models, and it includes the understanding we have about various cultural values like time orientation and power distance. This is the knowledge about the ways cultures approach things like politics and religion and economics. This information is important because culture not only impacts our relationships, but it should also shape the way we do things like marketing and negotiation. The third factor is CQ strategy. This is your capability to apply your drive and knowledge to develop an appropriate and effective strategy. The business as usual approach isn't going to cut it in many places, so CQ strategy is needed to develop an effective plan and so that you can flex your strategy midstream when needed. Finally, the fourth factor is CQ action or behavior. This is having the ability to flex your behavior when a cross-cultural situation calls for it. Just as often, it might mean knowing when not to flex your behavior. This is a really important distinction of the cultural intelligence model because if we go too far in trying to mirror the behavior of other cultures, we can look pretty foolish, and worse yet, it can be downright insulting. And so ultimately, CQ action deals with whether or not we can actually accomplish our performance objectives in a variety of cross-cultural situations. Together, these 4 capabilities, CQ drive, knowledge, strategy, and action, offer us a pathway through the challenges and opportunities awaiting us in today's world. Cultural intelligence is something any of us can develop and learn. You can find a fuller explanation to the cultural intelligence model in my book, Leading with Cultural Intelligence, or by visiting us online at the CQ portal or at my website, davidlivermore.com.